Hey. Well, as I said last time, yesterday, today's going to be a little bit shorter, so let's just get right into it. We're at the temporary film lot. And we have, like, most of this case left to solve. Oh, could you please give it a rest already? The heck, I'm telling y'all, it's best for all y'all's sake to come clean. Staff has their lips sealed shut as the reporters continue their tenacious negotiations. These voices are definitely not consistent. If you're not here to cooperate with the investigation, I must ask you to vacate the premises. Put a sock in it, copper. Y'all couldn't even stop Mozilla's invasion. Not only did they secretly raise a giant monster, but now the staff is trying to cover it up. Like I said, we haven't been raising any monsters here at the film lot. But ain't ya said you done saw Gordy yourself? Sure, I saw it, but it's not like we were keeping it at the film lot. So another Gordy sighting, huh? Mind if we butt in? Oh. Mr. Edgeworth. And John. Oh, y'all come here to search for the monster too? Haven't you learned anything about us at this point, Lotta? We're searching for a criminal, not a monster. Lang Zi says, the darkness inside a criminal's heart can be likened to a monster. Well, when it comes to killing people, criminals aren't much different from monsters. So deep. Agent Lung, this is a problem. I can't let outsiders enter the crime scene. These are all key figures in the case. I'd like them to be here when the investigation resumes. Agent Lung, regarding what you said about resuming the investigation, where do you intend to start? We'll start by reviewing the case. Sounds good. Today, the body of President Huang was found here at the film lot. The President's whereabouts from 2 nights ago were still unknown. It seems he snuck out from under the eyes of his bodyguards and ventured outside. And that night was the last time he was seen alive. It was when he met with you, Judge Courtney, on the roof of the Grand Tower. So, why did you meet with the President? That I cannot say. You can't tell us, even under suspicion of murder. Can't say? Why not? Miss Courtney, if you don't say anything, you'll only be more suspicious. Ha! She must have a reason to clam up. I think you're somehow involved in the President's assassination. So you're no longer claiming that she's the killer. The President's body was only discovered today. That still leaves a blank of 1 whole day after Judge Courtney met with him unaccounted for. Don't be so impatient. We're gonna fill that blank right here, right now. Yeah, the evening on that blank day in question is what's important. What happened here last night? So, why don't you tell us, John Marsh? Me? We know you were here last night. What? John was here? Between that little Missy's testimony and the footprints we found, we can easily prove it. John, you were rehearsing here last night, right? You were spying on me? And, I'm sorry, I just came to check up on things. You really shouldn't be staying up so late, you know? Mind your own business. I don't remember exactly the voice I gave him. Whoa. John Marsh, that young lady was worried about you. You will not speak to her like that. Sorry. How many times have I told you to be more mindful of the way you speak? Is it just me, or does Miss Courtney's personality seem kind of different? She seems to be as strict with her own son as she is with those who violate the law. Are you listening to me? And earlier as well? Blah 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 blah. You should always bear that in mind, no matter the occasion. What's up now? Can we get on with the investigation already? Ah, pardon me. For Judge Courtney to get carried away like that. This must be her motherly side. Agent Lung, do you suspect John? All I want is the truth. Why was the president killed? And I want to know who killed him. I'll do whatever it takes to find out. It seems the president was like family to him. John, would it be alright if we asked you a few questions? Sure, it's fine. I've got nothing to hide anyway. Sure you don't. I wasn't feeling too great during yesterday's shoot, so I made a few bloopers. They're reshooting the scene today, so... Well, I decided to rehearse a little on my own, that's all. I do it all the time. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary. Uh-huh. You were rehearsing alone that late at night. By the way, I want to check something that I think is the case. Wait, we don't have that photo, do we? But maybe on the camera footage, right? Maybe the camera footage? Yeah. Okay. I was thinking the angular part of those hoof prints wouldn't be there, but no, they are. I guess that would be too easy. John, when I called you last night, you told me you were at the hotel. You called him. About what time was that? I believe it was around 11 p.m. I require him to call me every night. That's our rule whenever he stays away from home. The truth is, I was at the film lot during that time. You liar! So you lied to me. Well, that's the death penalty for that guy. I'm sorry. Miss Courtney sure is angry. I think it's admirable that he practiced on his own, even if he hid it from his mom. I'm sure she was simply worried. Who knows what could have happened to him out alone so late at night. And in reality, he did get caught up in yesterday's incident. But John said there wasn't anything out of the ordinary, right? Is that really the truth? I feel like we might just present the film footage because of the fucking, or just maybe one of these. Because those sure don't seem very ordinary at the point, you know, present that at the point where it says there's nothing out of the ordinary. Let's try that. Wasn't anything out of the ordinary, huh? Kind of want to press, but this is the last statement, so that would like circle us all the way back around and stuff, so... Okay. At full health, I'm willing to take some risks. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary. That's a lie, isn't it? We have evidence right here. Okay, so either piece would have been fine, it seems. Ah, could that be? That's right. It's the video you recorded of your performance. What? You're telling me you have video from last night? Exactly. And in this video, there's clearly something that is out of the ordinary. This is a monster's footprint. Would you say that monsters' footprints are commonplace on a film set? I mean, it depends on what they're filming and what they're doing, but as far as we know, those weren't there supposed to be there. John, why did you conceal this video from us? No reason, really. Hey, pup, this is no joking matter. You had reason to hide it, right? John Marsh, answer him clearly. But Mom... Well? I didn't want anyone to see me rehearsing. In other words, you're embarrassed about others seeing you practice. Yeah, got a problem with that? You're saying that's why you hid the evidence? John. Hey! Quit nagging me. You've already busted me. What more do you want? Yeah, the footprints were there, but I just practiced and headed home. How come you're so calm after finding those footprints? It's a monster, you know? A real live monster! I thought it was just a part of the set. Besides, there's lots of other weird stuff around here too. He's suspicious, Chief. This kid's really suspicious. You're right. The smell of a scoop stinks to high heaven. Shut up. We're done talking. That's not how you talk to ladies. We're not done here yet. What now? The monster's footprints weren't the only unusual thing that happened last night. Besides the monster's footprints, what other unusual thing happened here last night? Well, this guy showed up, and the horn got broken, and both those things, I guess. Last night it fell from the studio roof, so that happened last night, and doesn't say anything about the time when he appeared, so let's go with this. A monster's head fell from the roof of that building. Surely you must have known about that. I don't know anything about it. Is that true? I told you I just practiced a bit and then I went back. I don't know anything about Mozilla's head falling or anything like that. Or do you have evidence to show that I know something? There certainly isn't any evidence of that. It's also possible that it fell after John had already gone back. If there's no evidence, then like I said, we're done talking. It seems that John doesn't really want to talk about last night. Could he be hiding something, after all? Wait up. Huh? Agent Lung? It's as I thought. Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor. This video backs up my logic. Huh? Is there something in the video that's related to the case? Yeah, take a good hard look at the monster costume in the top left. Oh yeah, it's empty, I guess. The Mozilla costume? Try comparing it with the one over there right now. Well, it's not zipped up, or rather this one's zipped up, I guess. It looks like it's just hanging there limply, though. And the zipper on its back is zipped up tightly. The zipper on its back? What this discrepancy is? Yeah, the difference is plain to see. In the video, the zipper is clearly open. So you're saying the body would have been hidden in there? That's right, someone was inside. What? Mr. Powers, is the costume zipper usually? It's always zipped up tightly when it's not in use. Mr. Prosecutor, do you remember? My logic from before. 2 nights ago, Courtney pushed the president off the roof and killed him. Afterwards, she snuck into the film lot to hide a body. You did say that, I guess. You're saying the body was hidden inside the costume. Yeah, that's right. Judge Courtney, 2 nights ago you pushed the president off the roof of the tower. Then you hid the body inside the monster costume. I did no such thing. Have you yet? Haven't we kind of proven that she couldn't have easily come here without, you know, the key or anything? Or was there a counter-argument for that I forget? That I'm forgetting about? Say what you want, but you're the only one who could have done it. That should have already been proven impossible. There. The film lot was locked on at the time. Judge Courtney could not have entered this place. And what if there was an accomplice? What? I'll tell you my reasoning, so listen up. You mean the sun opened up for her? When the president was pushed off the roof, John was waiting at the film lot. If John was an accomplice, the problem with the locks would be resolved. 2 of them then hit the president's body. Inside that monster costume over there. You think this crime had such an elaborate plan? To take the life of a nation's president? An elaborate plan is to be expected, don't you think?
Overruled!
Yeah, overrule this fucker. John would never take part in such a crime.
Not so fast!
You're the one being suspected. Your words don't carry much weight. I wouldn't think those two had sufficient motive for something like this, though. Well, maybe they had a motive that we didn't know about. You were the last one to meet with the president, and you're still keeping the detailed secret. Don't you think it's only natural that you're being suspected? Judge Courtney, is there no way for you to tell us your secret? My apologies. I just cannot, no matter what. However, when the time I can't talk about it comes, I will surely let you know. So if you could please... Believe in you? Is that what you wanted to say? That's what all criminals say. Not really. Most criminals don't tend to say stuff like that in these games, at least. And you, pup, if you've got an explanation, hurry up and spit it out. Explanation for what? I didn't do anything, that's all I'm saying. Both mother and son won't talk. You still gonna defend him like this? It's true, Judge Courtney's actions are a mystery. However, we still don't know whether or not that ties in with a motive for murder. Yeah, that's right, the motive for murder can wait. For now, let's talk about the situation surrounding the crime. And the fact that these two are the only ones who could have done it. And I'm the only one who can drink some water right now. Hurrah! I've done it again. I'm the extreme water drinking champion 3 decades in a row. I don't remember everything he said, so why don't we just press everything?
Hold it!
Agent Lung, don't tell me you're saying John was an accomplice. John still looks like a grade school kid. He's even got a kiddie backpack to boot. That doesn't really say anything though, okay? How could he be an accomplice? There's just no way. Like I said, John's already in middle school, and the backpack is a part of his costume.
Not so fast!
Lang Zi says, no matter how young the cub, never pity an ungrateful pup. Okay. He may be a little brat, but a villain deserves no mercy. So Mr. Lang Zi didn't make any allowances for age. Mr. Prosecutor, you're not just defending him because he's a pup, are you? Of course, that was never my intention. I shall present my suitable evidence. Minus the mine. In due course. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. My logic's just getting started. If, then, you understand what you're doing here. How would that resolve the problem? I figured you'd ask that, Mr. Prosecutor, but you know it's actually quite simple. Yeah, that's why would you ask that specific question? Listen up. First, that woman pushes the president off the roof. She pushes him off. Then that brat who knew the combination from the lock unlocks the film lot. I see. The combination unlocks the brat. Exactly in that order. Okay, it's the opposite. That's all it takes. For this, the problem of the lock is solved. Your theory that she couldn't get in because she didn't know the combination no longer flies. Regarding the lock, that certainly is a plausible explanation. Agent Lang, thank you for your clear explanation. Please continue with what you were saying before. If you're gonna give up, better do it now. We're just getting started. I mean, we could probably get forensics to check the costume and check everything for fingerprints and stuff. Supposing that those two were accomplices, why would they have need to leave the body hanging there for an entire day? Why don't you give it a rest and take a good hard look at reality? Thanks to that trickery, our investigation has been confused up until now. Doesn't that about answer your question? Got it. Those two hit the body.
Hold it!
Yeah, well, we'll see. In the video, we cannot see the inside of the costume. So can you really say for certain that the body was placed there inside? Yeah, I'll give you that much. In that case, why don't we try examining it? Yeah. The inside of that costume. There might be some traces left inside. I'm in favor. Mr. Powers, may we examine the inside of the costume? Sure, go ahead. But it might be kinda sticky since I sweat a lot in there. Okay. This is incredibly dirty. That's strange. We always make sure to clean it after using it, so that the sweat doesn't damage the costume.
Knuckle fast!
Isn't this just proof that someone besides you used this costume? I'd say that dirt from the body probably got into the costume. The president's body did fall on top of the monster's footprint. Well, but that must have been afterwards. That must be where the dirt came from. You're getting the order confused. Are you satisfied now? There's dirt inside the costume. It must have gotten there when the president was inside. I don't think we have any evidence to disprove that, so let's press some more. So dirt got into the costume when the body was hidden inside. Wouldn't that mean that the dirt was transferred from the body? Ha! Isn't that obvious? How else would you say it got there? There's dirt stuck everywhere inside the costume. It looks particularly bad around the chest area. Dirt around the chest. We cannot overlook this fact. Mr. Lang's logic does seem to make sense. Indeed, if those two were accomplices, the crime certainly would have been impossible. So it would be useless to argue that point. In that case, what should we do? Firstly, we should have Agent Lang explain his reasoning in more detail. We're already doing that. I don't need your help right now. Let's draw out more information. Well, I mean, we have something that, also shows dirt on the body, on its chest, so I don't think that is a contradiction, but a confirmation. Unless, I guess this is a yellow stain and the dirt would have to look very different, right, if it was that. But let's check our other evidence. Does this have any dirt on it? Doesn't look like it. Is there dirt to be seen anywhere there outside of the print itself? No. What is this? Alright, that's the... yeah, that's them. 7 Lotta saw... didn't see the president in the thing. Nightly, That's what the boom or something. Whoops. I guess we're presenting this.
Objection!
Dirt got onto the costume when the body was hidden inside it. Is that really the case? You have a problem with that? There's a fair amount of dirt inside the front of the costume. Yeah, that is a lot of dirt. Oh wait, that was K. K was just doing an impression of Lang, obviously. However, I would like you to focus on the state of the body is in. It's lying on top of the dirt, and yet there's no dirt on the front of the body. Well, there is, but it doesn't seem to fit with the dirt in the costume. If the body really was inside the costume, then it's strange that the front of the body isn't stained with more dirt. Well then, how would you explain it? How did the dirt get inside the costume? From the video footage, it's very likely that someone was inside the costume. But just who could it have been? Where have I seen this? What's the matter, Kay? I just feel like I remember seeing something that looked like this dirt somewhere before. But where was it? like the motor oil stuff. There were these bits of grey fragments that are mixed in with the dirt. Grey fragments, There does seem to be something other than normal dirt mixed into it. Something must have gotten stuck into it, and lots of it, I might add. Something got stuck to it. This may merit a closer look. Where did we see dirt that looks like what's stuck on the inside of the costume? On the globe, right? Yeah.
Take that!
This dirt has some grey bits mixed into it. Huh? And what of it? We found an item belonging to a certain man that was uncovered in the same type of dirt. Well, that was covered, not uncovered. That is to say, these gloves. Those dirt stains certainly look the same, but tell me, just what exactly is this grey substance? This grey substance is... concrete? Does it say on the piece? No. I don't know. Okay. This grey substance must be fragments of concrete. Yeah. Makes the most sense with, you know, what happened at the crime scene. Also, you know, the color fits. You mean the stuff that was scattered around the monster's footprints? Exactly. Meanwhile, who do these gloves, which are stained with the same kind of dirt, belong to? Oh, I remember. We found it at Blaze's place. Earlier today, we went to Blaze's garage. There we discovered these dirt-stained gloves. Come to think of it, there were also hammers, shovels, and other tools placed inside as well. Why would mechanics' gloves, intended to be used on machines, be covered in dirt? If he broke the concrete with the hammer, and then dug into the soil with a shovel, then it's only natural for dirt like that to get on the gloves. Then maybe... Yes, the true nature of the monster's footprints has been made clear. It's possible that these footprints were dug up by Blaze the Best himself. It's possible? Huh, it's possible, you say? Please do enlighten me, because I honestly have no clue. Why on earth would he do something like that? Why did he make the monster footprints? Thinking about it, the answer must be he was digging something up. He buried something. He was digging something up? It's possible he was digging something up. It probably went something like this. Last night at this spot, there was something that Blaze needed to dig up. For that reason, he broke the lock on the back of at the back door and sneaked into the film lot. Actually, this game has used both snuck and sneaked. Interestingly. And I think both times it was Edgeworth, so I guess he doesn't have a preference. In this localization at least. Using the hammer and shovel, he set to work. Guess it took him a couple tries. He placed the items he dug up into the bag, but before he could fill in the holes... Ah, that's when John came to practice. Exactly. Blaze panicked and had no choice but to hide himself in the Mozilla costume nearby. To think you would deduce so much from just a pair of dirt-stained gloves. However, all of this is merely a possibility. So is your theory. There's still no proof that he was the one who was hiding inside that costume. Neither is there any proof for your theory, man. For all we know, he might have left the scene once he finished digging. On the contrary, such proof does exist, and it can be seen in the video. When this video was recorded, Blaze was definitely inside the film lot. What? Though I can't blame Agent Lunk for not noticing. Is it the bag thing that's next to the thing, but not anymore? The difference between the and the one in John's video, along with the state of Blaze's garage, it's all too clear that Blaze was still there. They're still here. What proves that Blaze was still in the Vermlord when the video was recorded? Well, we only got a very short look at this in that flashback just now, but it was in the top left corner, or at least the left side of the shot with Sebastian. But it's this! This bag placed near the costume. There was an identical one inside Blaze's garage. First, the dirt on the gloves, and how now the bag. It seems there's a connection. And that's my proof. Blaze was inside the costume. Ergo, the president's body could not have been inside hidden inside it. Rah! It seems I was able to refute Agent Lang's reasoning. Someone needs to go investigate Blaze's house right now, pal. We need to go. We need to know what was inside that bag. Yes, sir. Who's interfering? Y'all pipe down and listen up. Y'all just been saying whatever works best for y'all. And the noisy one returns. That there's the footprints of the mighty Muzilla. They ain't just some random holes dug up by that old coot. I believe the true nature of these footprints has already been proven quite logically. Logic schmogic, I ain't buying it. Say what you want, but I know what I saw when I saw Muzilla. Is she referring to how she saw Muzilla out the window of the Grand Tower? Preposterous. Upon our journalist souls, we ain't having none of it. That statement is an insult to journalists everywhere. That's right. There's more to them monsters than just these footprints. I remember hearing that Sunny over there was seen with a monster earlier. I reckon that gal over there said she witnessed it herself. When these two are together, all meaningful talk grinds to a halt. If we only knew just what the monster really was, I think those two would quiet down. Well, it's pretty easy, I'd say. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything you can do? But I don't think we have a piece of evidence that refers to that, so I don't know. The monster's true identity. We don't have much choice. Let's see what we can do. Isn't there something y'all ain't telling us about the monster? Nicole, ask him. Ask him right now. Please settle down. Regarding the true identity of that monster, I already know what it is. What did he say? That's right. The video John recorded provided the hint that I needed. What you talking about? Miss Nichols saw Gordy when she went to check up on John's practice. At that time, she mistook something for Gordy. Oh, I guess it is there, kind of. The monster can be seen in this photograph. What? Ain't that just some plain old souvenir photo? Y'all don't really think you can pull the wool over the eyes of a pro like me, do ya? What did Miss Nichols really see? Well, that she mistook for Gordy. Scam. And its stand. And it was covered in that thing. Naturally, Gordy's true identity was this camera crane. What? The video John recorded was shot from fairly high up. A shot from this position would be impossible without a camera crane. But there ain't no way Miss Nichols would mistake a camera crane for Gordy. I wonder about that. Miss Nichols. Yes? Earlier you said that the prescription for your glasses didn't match your eyesight anymore, correct? Yes, lately it seems like my eyesight has suddenly gotten a lot worse. So would you say that you weren't able to see Gordy very clearly in the dark? That's right. Its silhouette was all I could make out. But remember what Miss Nichols said. And I quote, its skin was really scaly, almost like a reptile. Camera cranes ain't got no flesh on him, let alone skin. It's just a bare steel frame. That is certainly true, at least in the case of this photo. However, last night it did have a skin. Y'all just doing whatever you can to get in the way of our big scoop, ain't ya? That was not my intention. But since I've come this far, it's time to put an end to your nonsense. Gordy's skin is right before our very eyes. This is the skin of Gordy that Miss Nichols saw. This. This? This? As Miss Nichols stated in her testimony earlier, it looked like it was going to rain last night. While it never actually rained, John still covered the camera crane with a rainproof sheet, which to Miss Nichols looked like a monstrous skin. What? You gotta be kidding me. Isn't that right, John? Man, you saw through it all. Not bad, old man. Unfortunately, the Gordy that Miss Nichols saw was nothing more than an illusion. Not again. Looks like my dream that has shriveled up and died once again. Mentor. Seems like things have finally settled down. I really thought the boy was hiding something from me. Guess I had it all wrong. Now that we've figured out the true form of the monster, everyone seems refreshed. Actually, there's two people here who are totally bummed out. Agent Lung. What's up, homies? The report is in, sir. We've got the results of President Huang's autopsy. Oh, hey. Good, show it to me. Contusions and bone fractures from across the body. Found across the body resulting from tremendous pressure. So he didn't get pushed off a roof. So this was the cause of death. In other words, he was crushed to death. I thought as much. The yellow stain on his chest is currently under investigation. But it seems that gunpowder residue was found on his right hand. Oh. Sunflower residue? I didn't know the president was into gardening. No, gunpowder residue. Traces of it are left behind when a gun is fired. Since it has been found on his right hand, it's possible that the president fired a gun. A gun, huh? But we didn't find any guns when we investigated this area. Unexplained gunpowder residue. I'll have to look over the autopsy report later. How about I look over it right now? I guess it's here. COD. Crushed to death. Time of death April 5th around 11 PM. He was 58 years old. Gunpowder residue was found on his right hand. The yellow stain on his suit is currently being analyzed. Cause of death, contusions and bone fractures found across the body resulting from immense pressure. Now then, Agent Lung, it seems we have our answer. The president did not die from falling off the roof of the Grand Tower. Rather, he died from being crushed under Mozilla's head. I still think we can't exactly be sure of that, but it is a possibility. I can't deny it. Looks like your logic was right after all. This means the suspicions surrounding Miss Courtney should be cleared up, right? Yes, not only the cause of death, but the time of death proves her innocence as well. Judge Courtney met with the president 2 nights ago. However, according to the autopsy report, the time of death was around 11 PM last night. Mozilla's head also fell last night. It matches up perfectly. That's a relief. Isn't it a bit too early to be relieved? Agent Lung. The president died after being crushed by the Mozilla's head. That I will admit. But the problem is, who was responsible for the falling head? Mozilla's head fell last night, and last night the one who was at the film lot was... What are you saying? Surely you're not implying... I mean, we can already be pretty sure that it was a setup using fire and stuff. But let's see. That's right, you killed him, didn't you? John Marsh. That pup is hiding something. He was at the scene when the body was discovered last night. He also saw the footprints. And despite that, he still claims to know absolutely nothing about the incident. Isn't that a bit too convenient? These footprint-shaped holes have not been proven to be related to the case. Just because he saw the holes doesn't necessarily mean that he's involved in the incident. You sure about that? Take a look at the pup's face. He looks pretty shaken up to me, yeah. It looks like he hit the mark, but John doesn't want to talk about it. If he doesn't feel like talking, then I have an idea of my own. Let's check the tape. Agent Lung, what is your intention? The police have a device that lets you analyze the video footage up close and personal. Agent Lung, you would suspect John enough to go that far. As long as John's lips are sealed, this may be the only way for us to get closer to the truth. Detective Gumshoe, if I'm not mistaken, you have that device with you, correct? Yeah, we used it in that other case. Mr. Analysis is ready to go, sir. Now we're talking. Prosecutor Edgeworth, would you please perform the video analysis for us? She wants me to do it. Who knows what kind of faults that wolfman will find in it. This isn't exactly my strong suit, but I suppose I have no choice. And I'm gonna drink some water. Well, there is that indentation in this spot here that I find rather curious. But it doesn't necessarily seem to show anything there. Uh-huh. That sure looks very different from when zoomed in, huh? This is... What's the matter? Why I want to see too. Huh? Hey, what's wrong? Show it to me. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I request you submit the evidence to the court. Please take a look at the top right corner of the zoomed-in video. This person is... the president? Impossible. Huh? No way. Seems we finally found it at last. The evidence that points to the true killer. This video places John at a major disadvantage. You're wrong. That's not right. I didn't know anything about this. That's not gonna cut it. It's clear that you and the victim were together at the same place when his body was later found. Where his body was later found. John Marsh, there's no doubt you killed the president. No, this can't be. Why would you? John, please don't tell me. Did you really kill the president? Wow, you are quick to give up on him, huh? Mr. Edgeworth, is this really decisive evidence? Hell no. Mr. Prosecutor, looks like even you can't object to this. That pup said he didn't know anything, right? And yet the president's right there in the video. John, what are you hiding? John, please tell us the truth. The truth is, it's all my fault. John Marsh, what did you do? Mozilla's head falling was my fault. That's what I thought. Well, I mean, you know, not that he is to blame for the death, but that, you know, whatever. Look, while I was setting up the equipment on the roof, I used the heater. After that, I went down to practice, but I forgot to turn it off. Then my mom called me, so I left the film lot. When I came back to the lot after the phone call was over, Mozilla's head that was on the roof had fallen, and right next to it was the president, lying dead on the ground. How can that be? I see, there were indeed traces that something had caught fire on the rooftop. It was just a small fire, so I was able to put it out by myself. So the president's death was John's fault? But wouldn't that make this an accident, sir? And then what did you do with the fallen head? I took it apart, brought the pieces up to the roof and put it back together. So you put out the fire and even put the fallen head back on the roof. Which means you were hiding evidence. We can't be having that, you naughty little pup. I mean, that's certainly a crime. I didn't do it on purpose, I really did just forget to turn off the heater. When the legs broke, the stand would have tilted if Mozilla's head was on top of the stand. It would have fallen off, so the head fell down because of the fire. Yes, somebody else said that, I guess. Yes, and if that's the case, I also have a pretty good idea what caused the fire. There's a flammable can next to the heater. It seems someone is lacking in safety awareness. Was it really just an accident? If that's the truth, then what was the president doing here? I don't know. There was no one else around when I was here. You expect me to believe that? The president wouldn't have just come to a place like this without a reason, you know? Indeed, the president's reason for coming here is still a huge mystery. 2 nights ago, he met with Judge Courtney on the roof of the Grand Tower. And last night he was here at the film lot. Did he meet with John? I'll have to listen to John's testimony very carefully. Okily dokily. I think we're gonna press a bunch. John, you are still young. I know it can get a little cold in early spring, but you shouldn't have to resort to a heater. It is precisely because he is young that he must make sure to take good care of himself. However, while it can get a bit chilly during this time of year, I wouldn't necessarily say... Shut up, Edgeworth. Hold it, old man. Is this really the right time to be having this argument? Yeah, he's completely right. John, you did well to get the better of Mr. Edgeworth, but please mind your language. Let's not forget that he got the better of you too, Your Honor. I know, Mom. So, where was I? You forgot to turn off the heater. You didn't check it before leaving the roof. I meant to turn it off, but I was too focused on practicing, so... And I came on, and come on, everyone forgets stuff like that sometimes. Yeah, man, it's human. Yeah, I gotcha. I forget small things like that all the time too. Like sometimes I'll forget to turn off the AC or the lights in Mr. Edgeworth's office. Or I'll jump off the ladder for his bookshelves or leave prank calls on his answering machine. Yes, definitely the same thing. But forgetting to turn off the heater is really dangerous, so you've got to be careful. Some of those things had nothing to do with forgetfulness. John, please continue. Looks like you've got it rough too, old man. Well, back to my story. It was late at night at the film lot, and not a single member of the film crew was around. So then, why did you have to leave the premises in order to answer the phone call? I totally forgot about the phone call thing, so I kinda panicked. If I didn't answer it fast, I would have been busted for leaving the hotel without permission. In that case, why didn't you just answer it here? Because I was rehearsing, all the cameras and mics were on. I talked here, every last word I said to Mom would have been caught on camera. So he was embarrassed that the conversation with his mother would be recorded. Anyways, I stopped practicing for a bit and rushed out of the film lot. How long was that? In that phone call, you lied and said you were at the hotel, correct? Why didn't you tell your mom you were rehearsing? If I told her that, she would have called the hotel and make them send me a taxi or something. Of course I would have. A child alone on the street at that time of night. What sort of parent would allow their child to be in such a dangerous situation? I guess kids just don't understand how their parents feel. Parents don't understand. It goes both ways, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. Now then, John, please tell us about what happened after the phone call. Huh? Oh yeah, of course. When the call was finished and I came back here. Was there any indication that the head was about to fall? I don't know. I was focused on my rehearsal. So you forgot to turn off the heater, which led to a fire on the roof. I would think you should have at least heard something. Heard something? Oh, I was wearing headphones, so... Headphones? Listening to the movie soundtrack helps me get into the scene. I had it on full blast, that's why I didn't hear anything. Oh, that's a new piece of info, isn't it? And yet you noticed your mother's incoming call. I had my phone on vibrate, old man. That's how I noticed. Anyways, the head had fallen. Oh, we're not gonna add that to the... Okay, well... What was the state of the body? I didn't get a good look, because it was dark. He's suddenly become as quiet as a mouse. I guess John doesn't really want to remember anything about the body. Is that the only reason why he's gone so quiet? Should I press him for more details? Yes. You didn't get a good look. Then how did you know he was dead? That's... well... He's clearly shaken. He must be hiding something. Wouldn't you normally call for help if you see someone collapse on the ground? However, you did nothing of the sort. But he was already dead. Is that so? You seem quite certain of that, that the president was already dead. Now, is there a reason for that, I wonder? The guy was collapsed on the ground, and right next to him was a fallen monster's head. I'm not stupid. It wasn't hard to imagine what happened. You can imagine whatever you want, but there was no way for you to know that he was dead. You actually checked to make sure the president was dead, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. I was scared, but I got up close to the body and checked to see if he was breathing. I thought as much. However, why would he hide that? There must be a reason. Please tell me the state of the body at that time. At first, I didn't know he was dead. I'd have realized sooner if there had been any blood. But there wasn't a single drop and his clothes were completely spotless. Either way, he wasn't breathing. Spotless, huh? That's how I knew he was already dead. Would you please append those statements to your testimony? I didn't know right away that he was dead. There was no blood and his clothes were spotless. But he wasn't breathing and all... Well, isn't that weird? His clothes were spotless. Yeah, that's right. You got a problem with that, old man? John, it's painfully obvious that you are desperately trying to hide something from me. What are you going on about? I'm not hiding anything. You are hiding. Something about this yellow stain on the president's clothes, correct? Gigi! Why did you leave it entirely out of your testimony? The fact you made no mention of it only serves to cast more suspicion upon yourself. That's because... I hope you have a convincing explanation. What up now? Judge Courtney. Allow me to explain. Why are you... The yellow stain left on the president's chest is almost certainly lion lily pollen. Lion lily? When I met with the president on the roof of the Grand Tower 2 nights ago, I brought him a bouquet of lion lilies. Lion lilies are beautiful flowers with stunning golden petals. Some of the pollen from the lion lilies must have gotten on the president's suit. Huh? But... I didn't see any lilies in the security footage, though. They were simply obscured by the president's body. Except... You know, it's a movie and not a picture. It's a video and not an image. So that makes it a little less likely, but sure, whatever. Why did you bring a bouquet? That I cannot say.
Not so fast!
Hey, you're keeping way too many secrets. You won't tell us why you met with the president or the reason you brought him flowers? My apologies. However, I did give him the bouquet. That much is true.
Objection!
But when the president's body was discovered, we didn't find any flowers. I honestly don't know how that could be. Ha! Hey, Miss Judge. All your answers have been too vague. You can't say this and you don't know that. Do you accept flimsy testimony like that in your trials? Hey, cut it out! John, I threw the flowers away. You threw them away, so there were flowers near the body when you found it. Yeah, that's right. They were right on top of the president's body. They had been crushed as flat as a pancake, though. Ah, I see. So the flowers were squashed by Mozilla's head too. And a large amount of pollen got stuck on the president's suit. That seems to be the gist of it. However, why did you go out of your way to dispose of the flowers? No reason. So John's not going to tell us anything either. I guess mother and son both have a lot of secrets, huh? That is not true. At the very least, I can tell you why John threw away those flowers. Huh? John, you saw me leaving the house with those flowers in hand, did you not? Ah, I get it. John saw the flowers and thought of his mom. He threw them away in order to protect Judge Courtney from being suspected. That's not true. You're all wrong. That was his worst lie yet. Seems pretty obvious, but, you know, who knows? I often decorate our house with those flowers. The bouquet must have reminded him of me.
Not so fast!
So the pup just happens to find the flowers from his mother's bouquet on top of the body. That's why he threw them away and kept silent about the body. Ha! That's a tidy little story if I've ever heard one. Yo, Fiver. Well, you'll just have to wait and find out, won't you? But you definitely won't believe it. And, what's wrong with that? I suppose you prefer untidy, messy stories, Agent Lang? Don't tell me you've forgotten already, Missy. This pup confessed that he caused the monster's head to fall last night. Oh, that's true, but he's currently the only suspect in the president's murder.
Objection!
Is it true that there are many... it is true that there are many reasons to suspect John. However, there's something other than John who is far more suspicious. What'd he say? John himself was kidnapped by that very person not too long ago. Well, attempted to be kidnapped. And we rescued him from the refrigerator warehouse near the harbor, pal. A refrigerated warehouse? That's right, pal. The refrigeration wasn't turned on, so he wasn't about to freeze to death. But he hadn't yelled. But if he hadn't yelled out for help, we would have never found him. Once the sleeping drugs wore off, he was finally able to call out for help. Sleeping drugs, huh? If I recall correctly, when you were kidnapped. That's right. There was a bottle lying on the floor of the refrigerated warehouse. I think it was the same thing that was used on me not long ago. That sleepy ZZZ stuff, it's super powerful. Well, that's sloppy by the kidnapper. How about it, Agent Lang? John is clearly a victim. There's a mastermind at work behind the scenes of this case.
Not so fast!
I don't know anything about this so-called mastermind. You say they were here last night. I still don't know for sure yet. Ha! It's not like you to be so vague, Mr. Prosecutor. Indeed, I still don't have any evidence that ties the mastermind to this murder. Is there something else? Is there anyone besides John who had the opportunity to murder the president? I mean, yeah. Obviously, especially now that you've shown all that. That's it. As I thought, in the end, that pup is our only suspect.
Objection!
Isn't there one more suspect, Agent Lung? What's this? Didn't we prove it earlier? Last night there was one more person here. Blaze the Best. You're saying he's the one who did it? Last night, John was not alone. Blaze the Best was here too. Shouldn't we consider him to be a new suspect? Blaze the Best killed the president. It's entirely possible. Blaze the Best. It can't be. The same guy from 12 years ago. 12 years ago? That keeps popping up. Sure does. That's also the third time we're seeing this. Yep. And there's also the letter that we have that mentions 12 years ago. Agent Lung, what happened 12 years ago? Nothing that concerns you. On the contrary, it might just have some sort of connection with this case.
Knuckle back!
Huh, and I suppose you have some proof, Mr. Prosecutor. Show me evidence that there's a connection between this case and the one 12 years ago. Evidence, you say? If you don't have any evidence, then there's no point in talking about it. Is there any evidence that connects this case with what happened 12 years ago? But I don't think this has anything to do with the current case, right? That's got to do with Miss Crane and stuff, but we have these things. Well, this here, I guess. Blip, blip, blip. Which I guess also doesn't necessarily have anything directly to do with this case, but we found it during the investigation, so maybe that counts. I-7 documents also mention... No, wait, that's 18 years ago. I'll present this here.
Take that!
Okay. This is a report written by Patricia Rowland to Blaze the Best regarding Knightley. Please read this part here. That thing he laid to rest near the flower bed 12 years ago. That's not all. Take a look at this as well. This letter was sent to Jill Crane, who was murdered 2 days ago. Although the sender is currently unknown. Here it is written as follows. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. What, 12 years ago? Agent Lung, something big is happening here. Jill Crane's murder 2 days ago and now the president's murder today. There has to be some connection here. And the key to solving it lies in what happened 12 years ago, does it not? You're asking me to reopen the old wounds from the Lung clan. Agent Lung, I beg of you. Who is it this time? Who was that just now? Shifu! You guys, what are you all doing here? We followed you here, Shifu. We heard that Shifu was investigating the incident from 12 years ago. You idiots! I'm not your boss anymore. Get back to your own posts. Sir, we can't do that. What'd you say? You're disobeying my order? Shifu, we also beg of you to reinvestigate the SS5 incident from 5 years ago. None of us could ever forget that case. We know you feel the same way, Shifu. Agent Lung, even your former subordinates desire to reinvestigate the case. And you think you can solve the mysteries of that case? Perhaps I can, with your help. Tch, I got it. I accept your invitation. Shifu, Shifu. Now then, with that decided, I guess it's my turn to shine. Okay, yeah, with the little thief, right? We're investigating a case from the past, right? And guess what the best tool for that is? The little thief. Right, if we have the case files from the past case, I can recreate it. Unfortunately, don't have the case files. Huh? What do you mean? Access to those case files is restricted. It's been treated as highly classified information. Why is that? I don't know, but it seems like there were a lot of things that they wanted to keep hidden. Even what I know is limited to what was published in the newspapers back then. That will not be a problem. In any case, please tell us what you know. Sure. The SS5 incident. The incident occurred on a winter day 12 years ago. It was the 10th of February. The police department in this country received a call from a group of kidnappers. We've kidnapped President Huang, they said. Kidnapped? The SS5 incident was the case of President Huang's kidnapping. They demanded a ransom of $100 million. 100 million? Wait, just how much is that? It's such a large amount, she's having trouble visualizing it. That night, my old man was the last person to meet with the president. I should just kidnap a president and demand I don't know, $100 or something, right? It's probably worth it for them to just give me $100 to get the president back without causing much of a fuss, right? If I ask for 100 million, then it's a big deal because, that's a lot of money. But if I just ask for I don't know, $1,000, they should probably be like, you know what? That's fair. Let's just give him the money. And yeah, I should do that. I should just kidnap a president every month for I don't know, couple thousand. That should be my day job. I have now decided. Now back to the game. That night my old man was the last person to meet with the president. They were together at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight on February 10th. After that, no one knows what the president was doing up until he was kidnapped. With the president's life at stake, the Zhengfa government frantically gathered the money. After that, the ransom was delivered and the president was returned safe and sound. Well, that's a nice story with no problems. So, President Huang has been the president since 12 years ago. That's really amazing. Well, being in office for so long is just a small part of how amazing the man is. Lang seemed a bit happy when he said that. And what happened to the kidnappers? Well, a top-secret covert investigation was carried out, then a secret trial was held. A trial? Does that mean the suspect was caught? Suspect was Patricia Rowland. Well, that's strange. I'll have to drink some water for that. Then the reason you came to the prison a few days ago? Yeah, I was put on extended leave from Interpol. So I decided to go back and reinvestigate what happened 12 years ago. First I had to get a look at the face of my target. So the trial 12 years ago ended with a not guilty verdict. Yeah. Back then my old man was in charge of every aspect of the president's security. He took responsibility for the kidnapping and was relieved of his post as a bodyguard. But he continued to investigate as a regular police officer until he finally found the culprit. And it was none other than Patricia Rowland. There was no way she could be innocent. However, the result was a not guilty verdict. In the end, the case was unsolved. Crushed in both body and soul, my old man resigned from the police. What was the basis for arresting Patricia Rowland? There was a lot of evidence, at least that's what I think. But I can't see those documents for myself. So that's where my story ends. What should we do with only this much information? Even the little thief would have a hard time producing a recreation. there really nothing we can do? Looks like you could use some help. Who's that? Who's that? Oh, hey, it's our best friends. Francisco. And Mr. Shields, too. Yay. We finished up with the trial and finally managed to catch up with you guys. Here, take this. This is... Ah, it's the case files for the SS5 incident, sir. Yay. When Roland mentioned 12 years ago during the trial, it caught my interest. I looked into it immediately and got in touch with Interpol. As I expected no less from you, Francisco. Don't get the wrong idea, Miles Edgeworth. I didn't prepare these documents for you, the former prosecutor. I did it for the sake of the investigator taking up the case his father left behind. Sis. But I thought information on the SS5 incident was restricted to the public. That restriction was placed by the prosecutor in charge of the case. Blaze the Best. Blaze the Best was the prosecutor in charge. However, as a result of the trial just now, Blaze's authority has been revoked. It's all thanks to his son. Sebastian. By bringing down his father, the door to this past case has been opened. Prosecutor De West is currently wrapping things up in Patricia Rowland's trial. He told me to relay this message to you. Leave Pops and his cohorts to me. You guys just take care of this case on your end. He's become quite reliable right before our very own eyes. Truly. Alright then. This is perfect. Now that we have the files, just leave the recreation to me. Indeed. Well then, let us begin. According to these documents, it appears that the incident took place right in front of the Tower Plaza. Then let's head to the plaza right away. Later. Okay, would you please activate the little Mr. Thief? Right, with these case files, recreating everything should be a snap. Where should I start? Where indeed, according to these documents, it seems there was a witness to the kidnapping of the president. A freelance journalist by the name of Jack Cameron. However, he happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and was murdered by the culprit. So that would mean the place he saw the president was was here. Here? At the Grand Tower? No, the Grand Tower was only built around a year ago, okay? Before that, this place contained mostly old abandoned buildings. However, 12 years ago, this place was... Ha! Now you're finally talking about some stuff that I know. Yeah, 12 years ago, at this very spot was... the Happy Family Home. What's that, pal? It was a place where children who had lost their parents could live. Or to put it simply, it was an orphanage. So the president was kidnapped at that orphanage. And the head of the facility at the time was Patricia Rowland. Apparently, Rowland always referred to it as her home. It seems that suspicion would naturally fall upon her. Patricia Rowland, Blaze the Best, and President Wang. The darkness that remains from the SS5 incident still casts a shadow on the present case. Okay, I'd like you to input the investigation data from Jack Cameron's murder case. We can probably assume that he was killed by one of the kidnappers. So if we solve the murder case, we'll know who the kidnappers were, right? Precisely, I'm counting on you. One. Let's do it. kind of thinking about whether I should just end here or try to do this investigation bit and then end. But I don't know how long it's gonna take. I guess let's go for a little longer. What the heck is this? Everything's green. I've come to expect such reactions. This is a recreation of the grounds of the facilities that stood here 12 years ago. Based on the documents from the police investigation. I recreated the scene to show what it looked like when the police arrived at 7 AM the next day. It appears a fair amount of snow had piled up here. Yeah, I heard that the footprints in the snow were prime pieces of evidence. The snow fell during the day, on the day of the incident. So the snow only fell before the crime took place, which means the footprints wouldn't have been erased by any further snow. No, they don't have anything as unrealistic as time travel. They only have very realistic recreations in 3D based on text data that definitely has all the details for sure, for real. Don't be unreasonable now. I must make sure to pay close attention to these footprints. Well, I guess it's kind of like virtual reality, but like more like AR, right? They don't wear any devices to you know, they don't have any VR headsets or anything, but the reality around them just looks that way now. Which is very realistic, of course. These footprints stop near the body. They must be Mr. Cameron's footprints. He sure has some big feet. They look like a size 11. According to the data, his shoes match these footprints. Okay, how about these? They look a lot smaller. The footprints here seem to lead to and from the body. These footprints were believed to be the culprits. The shoe size is about a size 7. That's fairly average. It seems we won't be able to tell who the culprit is from these footprints. Alright, I guess I'll talk to you. What a scoop! Would you look at that? Those folks have turned green! Maybe they're sick or something. But their clothes are green too. Well, I'll be. Their clothes are all green. I reckon this ain't no ordinary disease. They picked up something good. Looks like you're taken to the next level. Yes, Chief. It looks like there's no way we'll be getting word in. Not that I have any desire to intervene. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we would get any good info out of them, is there? Would we? Scruffy, don't you dare say a word, I'm warning you. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, please help me, sir. What is it, Detective Gumshoe? It's about the story behind the SS5 incident, sir. Even though Blaze may have lost his authority, there's no way you can get confidential documents this quickly. That got me curious, so I made a few calls and asked around. And I found out that Miss Von Karma used all sorts of forceful tactics too. Scruffy, I thought I warned you. You've done a lot for us, Francisco. I promise I will bring this to an end with my own hands. Best girl, as I keep saying. What's that stain? A flower bed? According to the data, this facility had 3 gardens. And each of these gardens contained 3 flower beds. The way these flower beds are lined up. Have I seen this arrangement somewhere before? Well, I guess the one on the left resembles the way the monster footprints were arranged. Since it was during the winter, there were no flowers in bloom. What a shame. What's this yellow flower? Huh? Why is there a single flower here? That is a lion lily. It's a very rare type of lily. Did you say lion lily? That's the flower Miss Courtney gave to the president. What's it doing here? Could it be just a coincidence? Oh yeah, for sure. If I recall, the line lily originates from Asia. In the language of flowers, it means the bond between parent and child. Things are becoming clearer and clearer. I never knew you were so familiar with flowers. That much is common sense. You're simply lacking in your own studies, Miles Edgeworth. Yeah, fuck him up, Francisco. This bear-shaped igloo is both cute and scary at the same time. I hereby declare this bear glue. It looks as though this igloo could fit 3 people inside. Yeah, I bet you could live up to 3 years in this bear glue. Okay. 3 years? What about the summertime? The igloo would melt. Mr. Edgeworth, say that again. Say that one more time. The igloo would melt. Tough luck. This scene would sure puts a chill in your bones. Uncle Ray needs a hot babe to keep him warm. Could you please try to be a little more serious? Oh, if that's what Kay wants, I guess I have no choice. Miles, this is where it all began. Isn't that right? Yes, I fear that is the case. What was Patricia and Blaze's true goal? There are still many mysteries yet to be solved. Indeed, it's just as you say. Particularly the mystery of what will happen to Ray's love. Isn't it suspenseful? Not even a little. You just couldn't resist, could you, Mr. Shields? Why can't you ever just stay serious for more than a minute? I think he's genuinely incapable of staying serious for that long. And that's part of his charm. This door, I remember seeing it from somewhere. Of course you would. It looks exactly like the Grand Tower door we saw earlier. But there's a recreation from 12 years ago. That means the door has been here since then. It seems when the Grand Tower was built, they decided to reuse the door rather than destroy it. It's like the old saying goes, discover something new by heating up something old. Oh, it seems she's understood the correct meaning of a saying for once. But if you're using a microwave to do it, don't heat it for over 5 minutes. Oh, somebody who actually has something to say, I guess. Please, ask me anything you wish. Dude, Courtney's doing an AMA, get in here. You have my heartfelt thanks for bringing John back. Oh, even the thought of him not coming back makes me... Hi, old man, don't bully my mom. No, that wasn't my intention. Ooh, look at him go! Mommy's little knight in shining armor, he's so cool. It's not like that. Quit blabbering stupid stuff about me. John, please wait. May I proceed, Mr. Edgeworth? My actions were unbecoming of one who calls herself a servant of the goddess of law. I won't ask for forgiveness, however. Judge Courtney, I am not as well acquainted with the goddess of law as you are. However, isn't that goddess also a mother of other gods? The law makes exceptions for extenuating circumstances. It understands a mother's heart. I'd say perhaps your goddess sympathizes with you more than you think. Mr. Edgeworth. I don't get it. What the heck are you two blabbing about? It's okay, John. I don't have a clue either. It seems the dust has settled on the day of Patricia Rowland's trial. Yes, while a decision has yet to be reached, I would say a guilty verdict is quite likely. I am sure a thorough investigation into her connection with Blaze will be conducted as well. After seeing Sebastian today, I know we can put our faith in him. Just like Kay, Sebastian is also in the midst of training for the future ahead. I see. When you say it like that, I guess we have more in common than I thought. I said a few mean things to him, so the next time we meet I'd like to apologize to him. Well, at the time he kind of deserved them. I'm sure you will get your opportunity, but for now... Yes, at present, solving this case is our top priority. You also got something to say? I guess you do. What do you want? John, I'd like you to tell me the exact details of your kidnapping. You were kidnapped at the garbage pickup area, right? Why did you go there? You don't have to act as a go-between, I can just talk to the old man directly. So he says. Looks like he's finally starting to warm up to you. I went to the garbage pickup to throw away the flowers I found on the body. It was nearby and I thought it'd be harder to find there than if I just tossed them in a trash can. I went there last night too, but the gate was locked. And that's why you went there again today to dispose of them? Yeah, but when I got there, someone suddenly grabbed me from behind and used Sleepy ZZZ on you, right? Catching Z's is now super easy with Sleepy ZZZ. Even though she was also a victim of it, she seems to have taken a liking to the slogan. Whoever grabbed me was really strong, but that's all I know. I have no idea who it was. I see, so that's what happened. So then, after the drugs wore off, did you notice anything about your surroundings? Those drugs were brought to you by Sleepy ZZ. It was kinda cold when I woke up. I was in a dark, empty room. Boxes with foreign writing on them were lying around, so I figured it was a warehouse. The whole place was like a giant refrigerator. It was a commercial warehouse. That's right, John was rescued thanks to the collective efforts of Kay and Detective Gumshoe. Since it was still a bit cold, the cooling unit's power must not have been cut for too long. For some reason, they didn't think to take my phone, so I used it to call for help. I see. In any case, it's good that you're safe and sound, John. Huh, I don't need your fake sympathy, old man. What an incorrigible child. He's just like a certain someone I know. I think it's probably best if I stop here, lest I run out of time. Because in about an hour, there's going to be some King of Fighters action over on twitch.tv/hardedge_org, where I will commentate and I think also play a little bit, but mostly commentate. And that should be cool. And yeah, if you're into fighting games, you can check that out. The commentary will be in German probably. But anyway, yeah, let's continue this probably tomorrow. Certainly at some point. And I hope I'll see you then. So thanks for watching and hanging out and recreating reality with your virtual reality AR device. And I'll see you again at some point. Otsukaresama. Bye bye.